decided to stage Julius Caesar after so many days. It has never happened before. The reasons, especially to my parents, are manifold. Number one, when we had the changeover from West Bengal Board to CBSE, we realized that in class 10, in their curriculum, there is one very small excerpt of Julius Caesar. And while teaching that Julius Caesar in class, the teachers found it inadequate. The print was not coming alive. Why? Because Shakespeare had written his plays to be performed and not to be read in isolation. So we thought that to bring Shakespeare to them, to our students, we are going to stage the play so that the others, when they are watching it, when they're seeing the characters, they would understand the plot. That's one of the main reasons why we have planned to stage Julius Caesar. Secondly, unfortunately, in Haldia, we don't get to watch many English plays. So we thought that why should our students be left out of this experience which the metropolis have? So that is also another reason why we thought, all the more reason that they should be exposed to English drama. Maybe a few of them, even 1%, if they are inspired by today's play, would go on to become playwrights, would go on to grace the stage. So that was another reason why we thought of staging Julius Caesar. And thirdly, Julius Caesar, though after 400 years, he's still so pertinent. He's so relevant in our lives. Every while we quote him, unknowingly maybe, and his characters and his plots have transcended places, continents, and also languages. All of us have, at least the adults, know about the dilemma of Hamlet, the plotting, scheming Lady Macbeth, about Ophelia. But as students, but as children, unfortunately, in this rat race, they are not getting enough exposure, enough time to understand the pearls of the characters of Shakespeare. The characters of Shakespeare, they fall in love, they fall out of love, they are miserable to each other, they fight with each other, they wage wars. But in the end, what we see, we find catharsis taking place. So for all these reasons, thank you for taking out some time from your busy schedule, and also thank you for allowing your children to be a part of this endeavor. I hope all of us would enjoy today's program. It has been presented by the English department of St. Xavier's School Secondary Unit, and the play has been directed by Ms. Rajyasree Dashma. So, with much ado, let us get into the play. Thank you.
Romeo and Juliet are still perennial young lovers. treasure house of Shakespeare's plays and poems. Shakespeare was born on April 1564 in Stratford upon Avon, Warwickshire. According to the records of Stratford's Holy Trinity Church, he was baptized on April 26th. Shakespeare came from solid middle-class stock, the third offspring of the dynamic duo John and Mary Shakespeare. On the marriage front too, Shakespeare was quite the accomplished gentleman. At the age of 18, he was betrothed and married to Anne Hathaway, a lady of a score and half a dozen years. Having fathered 3 children, Shakespeare seemed pretty intent on taking care of his folks, for he oft got into trouble for poaching venison and rabbits on the estates of Sir Thomas Lucy. That could all be hearsay. No one knows how Shakespeare died. The nature of his illness is still unknown. It is believed that Shakespeare died on April 23rd, 1616 and was buried in the chancel of Holy Trinity Church on April 25th. On the slab over his grave appear the words, "Good friend, for Jesus' sake forbear to dig the dust enclosed here. Blessed be a man that spares the stones, and cursed be a that moves my bones." What better place to set the stage for a story chock full of heroes and villains than in ancient Rome? William Shakespeare knew a great backdrop when he saw it, all right, and boiled up a tale full of troubles with a capital T. It all started with a little envy, some ambition, and a grudge or two. As the play opens, the Roman people are lining the streets to cheer the triumphant return of Caesar from his victory over Pompey's blood. A member of the first triumvirate and champions of the Republic, Flavius and Marulus, 2 tribunes, disperse the crowds, arguing that Caesar's triumph in civil war is no cause for celebration, and that the people should be better cry for Pompey, whom they had formerly worshipped. Amid much hoopla, Caesar arrives to witness the race traditionally held on the feast of Lupercal, which is being celebrated that day. A soothsayer warns Caesar to beware the Ides of March, but Caesar ignores him. He says, "He's a dreamer. Let us leave." Meanwhile, Cassius has some issues about the growing power of Caesar. He tells his buddy Brutus about his concerns. At last, he decides that Caesar must be killed because he might become a tyrant. He and the other conspirators, Casca, Cassius, Titius Brutus, Metlasimba, Cinna, and Trebonius, all agreed to kill Caesar on the day of his proposed coronation.
Caesar! rejoice. What conquest brings he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome? To gracing captive bonds, his chariot wheels? You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Knew you not Pompey? Many a times and oft have you climbed up to walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yeah, to chimney tops, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectations to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made an universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores? And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now call out a holiday? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude. Go! Go, good countrymen, and for this fault assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to Tiber banks and weep your tears into the channel to the lowest stream. Do kiss the most exalted shores of all. See whether the basest metal be not moved. They vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go you down that way towards the capital, this way will I. Disrobe the images if you find them decked with ceremonies. May we do so. You know, it is the feast of Lupercal. It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll be about and drive the vulgar from the street. So do you where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wings will make him fan ordinary pitch. Who else will rise above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Calpurnia?
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius' way when he doth run his course. Antonius?
Caesar, my lord.
Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia. For our elders say, the barren touched in holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
sat on and leave no ceremonials.
Caesar! Caesar! Caesar!
Ha! Who calls?
Bid every noise be still. He's yet again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me?
Beware the Ides of March!
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me. Let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throne. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Caesar, beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Pass!
Caesar! 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 Caesar!
Brutus, I do observe you now of late, and not from your eyes the gentleness and show of love as I want to have. You bear too stubborn than to strain your hand over the friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I've turned the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which gives some soil, perhaps, to my behavior.
Then Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not by itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
It is just, and is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors that will turn your hidden worthiness into your eyes. I've heard many best respecting Rome except the immortal Caesar, speaking of noble Brutus and groaning underneath their age's yoke, and wished the noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius? That you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, Brutus, be prepared to hear. And as you know, you cannot see yourself, so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself what you yet know not of.
What is this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Ah, you fear it? Then I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other. And I look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I do not know what you and other men think of this life, but I have a life not to be lived in of such a thing as myself. I was born free as Caesar, so are you. We are both fair as well, and we both can endure the winter's cold. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, with the Tiber caffing with the shores, Caesar said to me, "There's thou, Cassius! Now leap into with me to the angry flood and swim to yonder point." Upon the words I caught as I was running, I plunged in and waded in front. Indeed he. The torrents roared and we did buffed it with the lustrous sinews, throwing it aside and streaming it with the heart of controversy. But ere could we arrive at the proposed point, Caesar cried out, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" Now I, as Aeneas' our great ancestors did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder, so I did from the waves of Tiber. And this man has now become a god. Cassius, is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar but carelessly nods at him. Man of such a feeble temper should not get start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Caesar! Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses offer some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find our dishonorable graves. Men at some time are masters of their fate. Faulty Brutus is not in our star, but in ourselves that we are underlings.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, Lamkaska by the sleeves, and he after his sour fashion will tell us what the note followed today.
Antonius, let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men such as sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He is a noble Roman and well given.
Ah, Casca, tell us what had chanced today. Caesar looks so sad.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. It was not a crown neither. It was one of those coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would have fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again. He put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. Then he offered it the third time. He put it the third time by. And as he refused it, the rabblemen shouted, clapped their chapped hands, threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath as Caesar has refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh of fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air. Soft, free. What? Caesar soon. He fell down at the marketplace, foamed at mouth, and was speechless.
And after that, he came the sad way.
Will you dine with me tomorrow? I am alive and your mind whole, and the dinner worth the eating. Farewell both.
Cassius, if you wish to speak with me, come to my house tomorrow and I'll wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art thy noble. Yet I see that the honorable metal may be wrought if disposed. This night I in several hands will throw at his window, as if it came from several citizens, writing to the great opinion, and as if Rome holds his name. And Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at, and then let Caesar sit him followed, as we will check him more vast days than Dio.
Lucius' hope, I cannot by the progress of the stars determine how near today. Lucius, awake I say.
Called you, my lord.
Get me a taper in the study and tell me when it is lighted.
I will, my lord.
It must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general good. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves weary walking. And so therefore, think him as a serpent's egg, which when hatched as by his kind, grow mischievous and kill him in the shell.
The taper burned it in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper. They sealed up, and I'm sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Go to bed, it is not day. Is not tomorrow, boy, the eyes of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Thus must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's saw? What Rome? A man entreated to speak and strike. O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hands of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 15 days.
It's good. Go to the gate. Someone knocks. Since Cassius did first whip Caesar, I have not slept. Between the action of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interims are like a phantasma or a hideous dream. And the nature of men, like to a little kingdom, then suffers the nature of insurrection.
Sir, is your brother Cassius at the door who thought desired to see you?
Is he alone?
No, sir. There are more with him.
Do you know that?
No, sir. Their hats are plucked about their ears and their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Let them enter. They are the faction.
I think we are too bold upon your wrist. Good morrow, Brutus, to be trouble you.
I have been up this hour, awake all night. Know I this men come along with you?
Yes, every man of them. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither.
This is Decius Brutus.
He is welcome too.
This is Cinna. This Casca. And this is Metellus Symbol.
They are all welcome. Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferings of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, speak out betimes. And every man hence to his idle bed. So let high sight and tyranny range on, till each man drop by lottery. And what are the oath? Then honesty to honesty engaged. That this shall be, or we will fall for it.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar? Decius well urged. I think the purpose is not met. Mark Antony, so beloved of Caesar, shall outlive him. We shall find in him a shrewd contriver. And we all know, if he improves his mean, it can annoy us all. To prevent that, let Mark Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem to bloody, Caius Cassius. Let us be sacrificers, not butchers. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar. And in the spirit of men, there's no blood. Let us kill him boldly, not wrathfully. Let us carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds.
Yet I fear him much for his engrafted love for Caesar.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter. Please, count the clock.
The clock has stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
Yet I am doubtful whether Caesar will come forth today or not, as he has grown superstitious of late.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can oversway him, and I will bring him to the Capitol.
Nay. We will all be there to fetch him. The morning comes upon. Brutus will leave it. And friends, remember what you have said. Disperse yourself and be true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not your looks put on our purposes, but bear it as a Roman act is due. And so, good morrow to everyone.
Tomorrow.
Brutus, my lord! Brutus, my lord!
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health to commit your weak condition to this rock-cold morning.
Not for yours neither. You ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight, at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet, I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wave of your hand, gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled. And withal, hoping it was but an effect of humor, with some time hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape, as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with the cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that's all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why? So I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical? To walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? But is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy in the unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of, and upon my knees.
Need not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. In the bond of marriage study, Brutus, is it accepted? I should know no secrets that appertain to you. Am I yourself, but as it were, in sort, a limitation? To keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I, but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, why shall
true and honorable wife, as dear to me as those ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know the secret? I grant I am a woman, but with all a woman that Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but with all a woman well reputed. Cato's daughter, think him no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and suspended. Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose him. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
O gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Someone knocks. Good Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves place forth the death of princes. Poor Calpurnia in vain does she groan. Caesar of his impending doom. Alas, Caesar's end is drawing near.
Caesar is given 2 warnings, but he ignores them both. Caesar's speech, moments before the assassination, stinks of hubris or pride. Bad call, Caesar.
The stage is set. Conspirators, their daggers awaiting orders to act upon Caesar and shed his costly blood, place themselves strategically in the capital. When they strike, see Brutus among their number. The stricken Caesar cries, "At you, brute!" And then falls Caesar.
And just when you thought, that's it, end of all evil, enter Antony, the most loyal and trusted friend of Caesar.
He leaves the Senate stupefied after the murder, but returns soon after and pretends to join the conspirators. What a move!
A master stroke, I bet. This man, unpredictable as he is, vows to avenge the murderer when left alone with Caesar's body, even if he has to throw Italy into evil water to it.
And what a narrator are Antony and his words. Brutally sarcastic, yet steeped in emotion. His tone melodramatic, pauses measured, choice of words remarkable. Thus he keeps playing up to the gallery and wins the hearts of the citizens of Rome.
And finally, Antony inflames the crowd against the conspirators with his words.
The old Cassius had apprehended the same. Brutus did not pay heed. A terrible blunder.
True. Thrilled by Antony's words, the crowd runs wildly through the streets, determined to burn the conspirators' houses.
Brutus and Cassius flee Rome. Meanwhile, Octavius, Caesar's heir, arrives near Rome. Antony, growing in power with the citizens of Rome by his side, resolves to join forces with Octavius and Lepidus. They prepare to kill anyone they suspect will be hostile to their cause.
At peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, help! They murder Caesar! Who's with him?"
My lord,
Go, bid the priest to present sacrifice and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to work forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall foot the things that threatened near looked, but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Oh, Caesar! I never stood on ceremonies. Yet now, they fright me. There is one within. Besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons and right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan. Hosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided? Whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth. For these predictions are to the world in general, as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiants never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear. Seeing that death, unnecessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurs?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions littered in one day, and either learn more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say, you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say, I am not well, and for thy humor, I'll stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus, he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you have come in a very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators. And tell them, I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not, falsehood. I will not come today. Tell them so. Decius?
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia, here my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight. She saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply as warnings and portents and evil's imminence. And on her knee have begged that I'll stay at home today.
This dream is all a misinterpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood in many pipes signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood. And that great men shall press them for relics, stains, tinctures and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. And if you shall send them birds that you may not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered. Break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hides himself, shall they not whisper, "Lo, Caesar is afraid"? Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to your proceedings bids me to tell you, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia? I am ashamed. I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. Good morning to you all.
We have come to fetch you to the capital.
Are we all ready? What is known is that Caesar and his Senate must redress.
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, matchless timber throws before thy seat, and humble heart.
I must prevent this symbol. This couchings and this slowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men and turn pre-ordinance and first degree into the law of children. Thy brother by degrees banished. If thou dost bend and pray and mourn for him, I will spurn thee like a cow out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without a cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ears for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber might have an immediate freedom of repeal.
But Brutus, pardon, Caesar, pardon, as low as to thy foot Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement of Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true, fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. That I was constant, Simba should be banished, and constant to remain to keep him so.
Oh Caesar,
will thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar?
What Brutus Pulchris mean?
Nobleman, speak out for me!
Caesar! Caesar! Welcome, Mark Antony. Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, and spoils sunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must let be blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hours of it, as Caesar's deaths are, nor no instrument of half that worth, as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now whilst your purple hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure, live 1,000 years. I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so no mean of death as here by Caesar and by you cut off, the choice and master spirits of this age.
O Antony, beg not of your death of us. Our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper, to receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man disposing to new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude, beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver you, Mark Antony. Why I, who had loved Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom, that each man tender me his bloody hand. First, Marcus, Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hands. Next, Jesus Brutus, yours. Now yours, Metellus. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca, yours. Thou last, not least in love, yours, good Trebonius. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. Oh, pardon me, Julius. Here was thou bathed, brave heart, and here thy hunters stand, sigh thy spoil crimson in thy late. O world, the forest to this heart, and this indeed the heart of thee. How like a deer stricken by many princes, just thou here lie.
Mark Antony!
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this, then in a friend, 'tis called modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what comeback do you mean to have with us? Will you be pricked in numbers of our friends, or shall we move on without you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, am I with you all? I love you all. Upon this hope that you shall give me reasons wherein and why Caesar was dangerous. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you shall be satisfied. That's how I seek, and am moreover certain that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit speak in the order of his funeral. You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you.
Lord, what do you do? Do not consent that Mark Antony speak at his funeral. How was the people may be moved by what he utters?
By your pardon, I'll myself into the pulpit first and show the cause of a Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I protest. He speaks by leave and by permission. It shall advantage us more to us in front.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take your Caesar's body. You shall not, in your funeral speech, blame us, but speak of all goods you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission. Yes, you shall have no hand at all about his funeral. And say you do it by our permission. And you are going to speak to the same pulpit, where too I am going, after my speech is ended. Be it so. I do desire no more. Prepare the body then, and follow us. Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, and I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hands that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. Curse thy light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall come all past cemetery. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar that mothers shall but smile when they behold their babies quartered in the hands of war. All pity choked with custom of fell deeds, and Caesar's spirit reigns and for revenge with 80 by his side. Come hard from hell, and in these confines, in a monarch's voice, cry heaven, and let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth, and carry men groaning for burial. Oh, Caesar, Caesar, I shall take the body of Caesar to the marketplace. There, with my oration, turn the citizens' mind against the bloody conspirators.
The noble Brutus is ascended. Silence.
Be patient till the last, Romans, countrymen, and nobles. Hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect for mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love for Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I love Caesar less, but I love Rome more. Had you rather Caesar been living and died on slaves than Caesar were dead and lived on free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is just the best? That would be a born man. If any speak, for him am I offended. Who is just the root that would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him am I offended. Who is just the vine that would not love his country? If any speak, for him am I offended. I pause for a reply. None, Brutus, none. Then none have I offended. Fierce girl's body, worn by Mark Antony. With this I depart, as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome. I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please Rome to meet my death.
Live, Brutus, live!
Live, Brutus, live! Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse and grace his speech, tending to Caesar's glories, which, by our permission, Mark Antony is allowed to make. And I do entreat you, not a man departs, save I alone, till Antony have spoke. You gentle Romans,
Stay home. Let us hear Mark Antony.
Let him go up into the public chair. We will hear him. Noble Antony, go up.
friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar and not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus had told you. Caesar was ambitious. He told you. If it was so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously had Caesar answered it. For here, unbelief of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all. All honorable gentlemen. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He had brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious?
Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. When poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which you did thrice refuse.
Yes, he refused. Yes.
Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And sure, Brutus is an honorable man. You all did love him once, not without cause. Then what cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art afoot. And men have lost their reason. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his saying.
Mark his words, he would not take the crown. Therefore, it is certain that he was not ambitious.
Poor soul, his eyes are as red as fire with weeping.
Now mark him. He begins again to speak.
But here's a parchment.
Parchment?
Under the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. It is his will.
Caesar's will. Caesar's will.
Will you stay away?
Yes, Mark Antony.
Will compel me then to read the will. Learning about the corpse of Caesar. And let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend, and will you give me leave?
Descend, Mark Antony.
Room for Antony. Most noble Antony.
Don't press against me. Stand back.
Stand back.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time Caesar put it on. It was in a summer's evening. The day he overcame the Navai. Look, through here, that Cassius is Cassius. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked away his cursed teeth, mark how Caesar's blood followed it. Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal. To every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man he gives, 75 drachmas. 75 drachmas? Moreover, he hath left you all his box,
his private arbors, and newly planted orchards. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Poor old Caesar.
Never, never! Come away! We'll burn his body in the holy place!
With the brands, fire the his houses.
Go! Fetch fire!
Go fetch fire. Come.
Take the body! Burn his body in the holy place!
Come away.
And we'll burn the traitors' houses! Come away!
How now, fellow?
Sir, Octavius is already come to home. Where is he? He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood, it will give us anything. Friends, Romans, countrymen, methinks there is much reason in his saying. His eyes are as red as fire with weeping. Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what goes thou will.
What began as a mere confrontation between the egocentric noblemen, the friends and foes of Caesar, takes a bitter turn post the mutiny against the conspirators.
Cassius and Brutus marched to Philippine Greece to meet with the armies of Octavius and Antony. Cassius runs upon a sword held by his servant Pandarus and kills himself. Brutus too commits suicide once his forces are smashed.
Antony, victorious, pays Brutus an apt tribute, wherein he says,
This was the noblest Roman of them all. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
With this, we come to the end of today's plays. We would like to introduce the cast and the crew. Can we have the curtains drawn, please? Kunal, can we have the curtains drawn, please? Caesar, host of Das. Step forward, Caesar. Take a bow. Brutus, Onanjan Bhomik. Cassius, British Pramanik. Antony, Suryan Tiwari. Kalpunia, Dipanita Maiti. Portia, Shahojia Mahapatra. Kaska, Oyon Maiti. Sina, Shubhradip Kundu. Dishes Brutus, Amrit Gautam. Trebonius, Shomadip Sen. Metallus Simba, Rajat Roy. Brojit Paul has a dual role of Marulus and the Soothsayer. Arora. Narrators Bidisha Boral, Icha Roy, Rajyasree Pandit, and Manali Roy. Servant to Brutus Rishikesh Singh. Servant to Caesar and Antony Shubham Ghosh. Citizens, Roman citizens, that is, Shoma Broto, Shurjatarun, Pritham, Aniket again, Pritha, and Shubham. The music was composed by our very own Kanishka. And last but not the least, our director, Ms. Rajyasree Dashmal. Thank you, children, for this wonderful play. I hope parents, all of you have loved it. And I'm sure my students have enjoyed it. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my English department for their tireless effort. To Fareen ma'am, who was backstage with the slides. Ma'am, will you please take a bow? Yes. Mr. Amalindu Das, who had to leave us a bit earlier because he had to go to Tumluk, our art teacher. And of course, I would like to thank Mr. Ghoshal for the arrangements. We would like to thank Babluda for the sound of the music. We would like to thank our Okhoi Kaku for the support. Let me also take the opportunity to thank all my other teachers who have grudgingly had given away their periods so that the children can tirelessly prepare. May I draw your attention to the fact that there were no prompters. The children had done it without prompters. That too, such an archaic language. They need big hand, everybody. Thank you. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Father Katie Thomas, because when we conceived of this, he was there encouraging us, he being a man of the English department. And I would also like to thank Father Ekka, because he was there when it has been executed. Thank you. Have a very lovely evening. While you're going away, parents, please drop in for a hot cup of coffee and a couple of biscuits. Yes, ma'am.
I just also want to take this opportunity to say that it was never I, but always we. Ilora ma'am and myself. So please, a big hand, because both of us are bitten by the bug called Shakespeare, and we are in love with the stage and with the children. So I think without her and without her encouragement, because on one fine morning, both of us thought that we could make it happen. And it is such a moment for me. I have goosebumps, and it has come true that what we had thought so many months ago, we could have made it possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, children. You'll be seated. Let your parents leave, and then you're going to take leave, okay? So students, you are going to remain seated. The parents are going to vacate the auditorium first, followed by the students. Thank you.